What's going on, guys? It's Harley Blakeman from backgroundmenot.com. Today I want to talk to you about housing with a criminal record. So finding a place to live with a felony on your record. It's probably the worst, hardest issue to overcome when you have a criminal record. If you've been out of prison or jail for a little while and you have a felony, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I have a college education, a bachelor's degree. I have a great job. I'm married, I have excellent credit, everything is perfect, but I fail a background check for 2 felony charges, and I'd say 9 out of 10 places I apply for to try to get into an apartment, I get denied, and it frustrates my wife like crazy. My family was telling me for years, like, when are they going to stop doing this to you? Like, is there ever a time where you'll be able to move into an apartment? And I always said, no, I don't think so. Like, as long as I have felonies, they're going to do a background check, and they're going to tell me no. Not only do I think that that's unfair, it should be illegal to discriminate in that way, because studies have shown that if you just accept people with criminal records into apartment complexes or colleges or jobs, that there isn't a statistically significant chance that you're going to see increased crime. So it's really unfair, but nonetheless, let's talk about some things you can do. First off, you can just say that you don't have a background. When it comes to employment, I always tell people don't do that. Like, you got to be honest when it comes to employment, especially if it's a job that you really want, like you want to keep that job, because you don't want them to find out and burn the bridge and lose your job. Now, when it comes to apartment complexes, you know, the society has done us in such a way to where we're put in a corner. You're either going to be homeless or you're going to get a house. So, in my opinion, when you're applying for apartment complexes, you can say, I'm not a lawyer, so don't take me on this, but I have multiple times said I have no criminal record and I got approved. I think that's because a lot of these apartment complexes don't actually run the background check. But if you say yes, they'll deny you. That's very unfortunate, but I've done that several times. Now, that doesn't guarantee you will still get in, because I've said no on a background check before for an apartment, and then they denied me. They said I failed the background check. But I can think of at least 3 times I got into an apartment complex by just checking no next to the box. That is not the best thing you can do, but it is an option, because you're not trying to build a relationship with your apartment complex owner. I mean, maybe you live there forever, but once you're in, they're not going to randomly do a background check on you. Whereas an employer might find out something from one of your fellow employees, or they might find something on the internet. I would not worry about that as much with an apartment complex. And secondly, your livelihood doesn't depend that much on your apartment, whereas your employment, it might. Also, a lot of times when you're getting a job with a felony on your record, it's because someone recommended you. You don't want to cross them. You don't want to make them look bad by lying to an employer. Most people aren't recommending you for an apartment complex. Okay, that's one. What I most recently did, and what I would suggest to anyone who has a felony on your record, if you can afford to do it, buy a house. I just bought this house I'm in right now. I'm in my basement. It's where I film my videos. It's where I run backgroundmenot.com from. I was living in a studio apartment in downtown Columbus. It cost me $1,080 a month. Sorry, that was a very small 2-bedroom, not a studio. Very small apartment, and it was over $1,000 a month. Now I live in Reynoldsburg, Ohio, and I save about $18 a month on rent because I'm paying a mortgage now. It's about $18 less per month. And I have a garage, a driveway. It's about 3 times the size. And guess what? They didn't do a background check. When you're trying to buy a home, you do not need to pass a background check to get a mortgage. They will not do a background check. However, you need to have good credit and you need to have a decent income. I bought my house with just me, not my wife. We didn't even put my wife's income into it. I had great credit and I had a decent income, so I was able to get this home. And it's such a huge relief to not have to worry about next year, if I move out of this apartment, where am I going to go? Who's going to accept me into the apartment complex? Is the apartment complex I currently live in going to discover my background and randomly kick me out? It's one less thing that I have to carry on my shoulders as a convicted felon, and it was the worst thing to carry on my shoulders. If you should know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I hope you never have to deal with it. But trying to find a place to live with a criminal record is tough work. So those are my two options I suggest. You can always be honest if you can afford to be honest. If you have the time to write it out and just be honest, eventually someone will let you in. If you're under pressure, you don't have the time, you can do what I did and check no on that box and risk it. And then the third and best option is to buy a house. If you have any questions or maybe you just want to leave a comment, please do so below. Leave me some comments. Like my video, and please subscribe. Every single week I'm posting content on how to overcome criminal records. Again, this is Harley Blakeman from Background Me Not. See you next time.